What's up, Comet sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Comet Sports Talk, your place we get recaps and previews of these Comet sports. I'm your host, Daniel Pennetti, here with my co-host, Isaac Vargo. And Isaac, Comets are coming off of a tough loss at Princeton, 30-7.
Yeah, as we said, Princeton's one of the best teams in Ohio, but especially in the GMC, and it was kind of Mason's biggest game. They're kind of proved to the GMC that they could be one of those teams, and it just didn't go as the Comets would have hoped. Princeton just outmatched the Comets in every facet of the game. Mason went 0 for 9 on third down. It's just something you can't do against some team like Princeton, but they did have a couple turnovers. Preston Estehuesta had by far his best game of the season. He had a couple interceptions, and the Comets did all right on defense, but as we said, kind of the story all year long, the defense has been on the field for 3/4 of the game. And at the end, we kind of saw Princeton just run it right down Mason's throat, and it just felt like that all day long because Mason's just getting tired at the end of the day. So the offense has to be better on third down, and this week we got a big game.
Yeah, it's a big game. It's the homecoming night for this Comet team, and like you said, Isaac, the story has been the struggles of this offense. The Comets, they didn't look great on offense versus Princeton, only putting up 7 points, and that came off of a 90-plus yard drive. But you had that one huge play to really set them up. Ashton Shape just a little over 100 yards through the air, but like we said, they haven't been able to get the running game to go much, and like you said, you're facing one of the top defenses in the GMC. We kind of expected going into that game that it was going to be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, for the Comets, pretty much on offense, as we said before, their struggles. It's just there's too many mistakes that happen for a team that doesn't really know their identity so far through 5 games this year. So this week they got a Fairfield team, and Fairfield's been struggling on defense, but they have a high motor offense. So it's a big opportunity for the Comets, as we said, on that homecoming.
Yeah, we look at this Fairfield team. The last 2 games that they played, they've given up more than 50 points. So a defense that's obviously struggling. It's a chance for the Comets to, kind of like an Oak Hills game that we had a couple weeks ago, really find themselves on offense and try and keep that going as we move farther into the season. So a big chance on this Friday night for Ashton Shafe, Temi Adesanya, and just his offense in general.
Yeah, it's going to be super interesting to see. As we said, the Comet defense is definitely their vocal point, and against Dominic Back and the best running back in the GMC so far, Tyler George, who has 600 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns through 5 games. So it's going to be interesting to see that matchup. And then on the other side of the ball, the Comets offense against, again, as we said, a struggling Fairfield defense. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the Comets come out and play. It's, again, a big game for them, homecoming night at home. It's going to be a great atmosphere. The Comets are going to be ready to go. But it's one of those games, if you're talking playoffs, Comets you would have to think would have to win out at this point to get that chance. So it's a big momentum getter if they can get this win.
Yeah, like you said, Isaac, the farther we get into the season, the more impactful these games can become. And this is a game that you circle and you think that you should win this game. Like we said, the running back, George, for this Fairfield team, over 100 yards in every game, 200 in that huge win versus Sycamore. So the Comets, your number one plan on defense is to stop him. Don't allow this run game to get going and let them try to beat you through the air. We talked to Coach Castner once again this week about how this team can overcome some of their struggles and keep regrouping as the season goes on. Let's take it down to Trevor Rose, who supplies us this interview.
Happy homecoming week, Comets sports fans. It's Trevor Rose here with Coach Castner. How are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right.
All right.
Thank you for having me down here today.
Thank you for coming down.
No problem. So this week, homecoming week, obviously a big game for a lot of people that trying to get our win in the win column. Last homecoming game for these seniors. One thing that we can talk about: defense has been playing great last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They have been creating turnovers. They're averaging about 2.6 turnovers a game right now. How can the offense start capitalizing on the turnovers?
Well, we can score points. It'd be nice to even get a field goal off of a turnover. I think yesterday we addressed it with the team. We addressed it on Monday as well. We addressed it on Saturday. we're not answering the bell offensively after a turnover, and that can really pull a team down, especially defensively, because they're doing their job, but we're not finishing a drive, or we're not, we might flip the field, but we're not getting points, and we need to get points, and that's something that we've talked about. Obviously, you got to put a plan in place for practice to make it a point to understand that we have to get points. So we have to be efficient. We have to finish blocks. We have to understand that there's an opposition that's going to try to take something from us. And when we get a takeaway, if we don't get points, you're giving them confidence back because they didn't flinch. They didn't have something go wrong. So that's been a point of emphasis since, for the last couple weeks, actually, if not all the way back to the Gahanna game. If you remember the first half of the season, we've done that multiple times. So we've got to clean that up if we want the second half of the season to go the way we want it to go.
How has having a very, very strong defense impact the preparation for the week?
Well, that's what we're built on. I mean, we've always built from the defense to special teams to the offense, and that's how we build our three phases. So we know it's going to be good. They could even tell you, and I think Coach McCullough would say they could be even better. So we're going to continue to play great defense. We've got to take care of other things in the other two phases, but most importantly, offense. I've said this now for weeks again, and again, saying it, but us not actually acting on it, is we're not taking care of the little things. It's not just on the field, it's off the field, of taking care of the little things. And you've played, you understand how if you take care of the little things, big things will happen. And right now, we've got to figure out how to really dive into the little things in our lives and in our football program and take care of them and hold each other accountable and really dive into the second half of the season and understand, we got 5 games, and we got to go one game at a time. But if we take care of the little things, big things will happen. And that's what we're going to really try to do Friday night. We're going to try to do it Thursday at practice today. We're going to try to make sure that all the little things on a Thursday, game-like situation, we're trying to practice and keep our focus and make sure personnel is where it needs to be and make sure we understand the importance of preparation for Thursday so that tomorrow night, no matter what elements we have, we're more disciplined, we're more focused, and great things will happen. So.
Absolutely. That will be it for today. Coach Castner,
Yeah.
thank you very much for
Thank
having
you.
me down here.
All right. I like your shirt, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Looks good.
Good luck this week
Yeah.
against Fairfield. We'll send it back to Isaac and Daniel at the desk.
We'd like to thank Trevor and Coach Castner for getting us that interview. And Isaac, before we go, just one more little touch over these keys to win for the Comets.
Yeah, the Comets pretty much on third down, as we said, 0 for 9 against Princeton. Hasn't been great all year. They're going to have to establish the run game early against Fairfield and then stop the run on the defensive end.
Yeah, and that's going to do it here for this week's episode of Comet Sports Talk. We thank you guys for listening all the way through. We hope to see you tonight at Dwyer Field for this homecoming night. If it's not there, then maybe over on YouTube at Mason Sports Radio. We will be broadcasting to you all game long. I've been Daniel Pennetti here with my co-host Isaac Vargo. Go Comets.